Shraddha Walkar murder case. After over a month of the grisly murder of the 27-year-old Shraddha Walkar, the Delhi police have received a major breakthrough in the ongoing investigation of this entire murder case. The results of DNA testing of the bones have been retrieved from forest area in the national capital are now finally out, and they match with Shraddha Walkar's father's DNA. The bones were traced based on the statement of Aftab Poonawala, who confessed to having killed his live-in girlfriend, Shraddha Walkar. A total of 13 decomposed bones and part of a jaw were collected from the Mehrauli forest as part of the ongoing investigation in this entire case that are believed to be of the 27-year-old Shraddha Walkar. And with that, this is indeed a huge breakthrough that has taken place for, remember, what was a crucial challenge for the Delhi police was the fact that a lot of time had passed on. The murder and the investigation are now looking at a time span of roughly more than 6 months. And to piece those pieces of evidence together has been a crucial challenge. But now, with this big breakthrough of Shraddha Walkar's DNA sampling matching with the bones that were retrieved from the Mehrauli forest, the Delhi police is now inching closer towards cracking the case. For more details, let's quickly go across to our correspondent Anshul, who's joining me live on this broadcast. Anshul, important to talk about how this is indeed a big breakthrough, but yet a lot remains to be done as far as cracking the entire case is concerned.
So yes, this can be seen as a massive breakthrough for the Delhi police, because now it is established for the first time that Shraddha Walkar is dead. Because now remember, the entire case that the Delhi police was proving was on a statement that was given by Aftab, a story that was told by Aftab, and the entire sequence of events or the entire evidences that the Delhi police had been gathering were all circumstantial evidences. And yet there was no proof because the body parts were not found. Even if the body parts were found, the DNA sample had not come in. So yes, the Delhi police had no scientific rhyme or reason to actually say that Shraddha Walkar is dead. But now, since these DNA samples have been proven to be as the same as that of Shraddha's father, the Delhi police is definitely seeing this as a massive breakthrough in this entire case, and all the circumstantial evidences that they have gathered while Aftab was in their custody. Because remember, we were continuously reporting that Delhi police, the teams of the Delhi police were taking Aftab to different locations where he had claimed that he had thrown the body parts or he had destroyed those evidences that were used to kill Shraddha. He was taken to all those places, and evidences were recovered from all those places as well. And now, since the reports have started coming in, this is being seen as a massive breakthrough at this point in time. But yes, there are still many missing links that needs to be connected before airtight case is presented in front of the court, in front of the courts. Because remember, the samples of the blood has still not come up from the CFSL, and if those samples actually match with that of Shraddha, then it would eventually be established that Shraddha was actually in that flat, and it was in that flat where Shraddha was actually killed by Aftab, and her body parts were cut over there. So yes, there are still many missing links that needs to be joined at this point in time. But yes, the entire corroborative evidences that the Delhi police had been able to gather, and with the scientific evidence of this coming out, that the bones where Aftab had pointed out that he had thrown those body parts, those bones have been recovered and the DNA samples have been matched. So yes, the scientific evidence and the corroborative evidence are now coming in tune, and in the next few in the next few weeks, we could expect more reports to come in from the CFSL, which will actually help the Delhi police to file that very crucial charge sheet. Also, a very important point, Akansha, is that the Delhi police has still not taken Aftab in front of the magistrate to record his statement, because remember, the entire statement that Aftab has given till now is still in front of the police, and that statement is not admissible in the court of law. So yes, what sources in Delhi police are also telling us that now, since the body parts have been found, the DNA samples have been matched, they could actually take Aftab in front of the magistrate to record his final statement, because once the statement is given in front of the magistrate, that statement could not be changed at any cost.
Absolutely, Anshul, some very valid points made by you. Anvit, if I could bring you in on this as well. You heard what Anshul had to say. He's made a very valid point over there by stating that now the investigation seems to be moving in the direction of gathering more scientific evidence instead of circumstantial evidence. That is what the case was so far resting upon.
Yeah, but even though this has been this will be confirmed if it is on these lines that Sagarpreet Hooda, the special commissioner, will be holding the press conference, because so far we have only learned from our sources that the press conference will be around that some parts of bones that have been recovered on at the instance of Aftab have matched with Shraddha's father and brother sample. But police have so far not come on record saying this. So this is what we have learned from our sources.
All right.
But if it is on these lines, then certainly it's a breakthrough, and it is a major breakthrough by the Delhi police investigators in this case, because now this is confirmed, like Anshul also pointed out, that this woman is now dead and section 302 will be added to the FIR, and this will he will be tried for murder, even though he had earlier confessed. But that confession alone is not admissible, and that is why the police have been trying to corroborate it with scientific evidences. Now this is one of the major evidences that the police have got and stumbled upon, that the DNA samples have matched. But it's a long road ahead, because to prove that this was the man who had killed Shraddha will be a tough task for Delhi police. If the blood samples have also matched, then that house where this man has claimed that Shraddha, he had been living with Shraddha, that becomes the scene of crime, and it will be further proven that Shraddha was present in that house, and that if from the jungle areas his body has been recovered, then at least the initial part of of Aftab's statement is now stands corroborated with scientific evidence that Shraddha was in that house, and that she was murdered and cut into pieces, and that body was thrown into forested areas of Chhatarpur and Mehrauli. That will now be confirmed, which is a major part of this entire investigation. Secondly, most important is to connect Aftab with this murder, for which police have been gathering scientific evidences like the CDR and the mobile cell phone locations of these two, where had they been. Some names have also come up earlier, like Badri's name had come up, who had helped them get this house in Chhatarpur and earlier also helped them in Uttarakhand. So these are the crucial links. All people have been already been questioned, and their statements have been recorded. And it will be a challenge to tie this man up with the case and with the murder. But shortly we are expecting that Sagarpreet Hooda will be here, and the whole press conference will be done. We are expecting it to be on those lines, that that this man, yes, certainly he was the one who has committed the murder. And we can see Special Commissioner Sagarpreet Singh Hooda is here. Right. Sir, can we get a small confirmation on whether it was?
I'll talk to you.
So he has said that he will brief us in the press conference, and will soon be headed for it. And then he is here to hold the conference, and we'll get more details.
And I think we will quickly cut across that press conference once that begins. In the meantime, let me also introduce our guests, Dr. Vikram Singh, who is a former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. I'm also joined in by Manas Mishra, who's a forensic expert. Manas Mishra, if I could begin with you. So far, what was being negated was that the evidence that had been collected so far was not admissible in the court. But today's breakthrough, as far as the DNA sample matching with those bones that were retrieved in Mehrauli forest, and now the fact that it's been established that Shraddha Walkar has been murdered. How do you see the forensics taking this case forward? Because so far the discussion's only been revolving around how forensic evidence may not be direct evidence. In fact, it will be playing the role of a supportive evidence.
Well, Akanksha, I would say it's a big breakthrough.
Right.
It's not only a breakthrough, it's a big breakthrough, considering the incident that took place, unfortunately, and already 6 months had passed. Yes. So considering all those things, I would say that credit goes to Delhi police investigators. If now we have got this confirmation that the DNA has been found matching between the bones as well as the father of Shraddha Walkar. So now, first of all, the scientific evidence, again, we have proved the scientific evidence. We have the scientific evidence with us. And now the further what we need to is we need to corroborate it, whether it is corroborating with other findings, with the circumstantial evidences as well or not. And so far, I feel that even the blood samples found inside the flat would be matching. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely it is going to be found matching with that of Shraddha Walkar.
Manas,
So
when we talk about the blood stains and when we talk about the missing links, how does one establish that the body parts that were stored in the refrigerator were those of Shraddha, and that the blood stains that have been spotted in the kitchen are also that of Shraddha? And how important is it going to be now to establish that as part of the scientific evidence?
Well, see, it is going to be really important now. And since I already said earlier also that some of the dots are connected. Now, earlier we had very few dots, which we were actually in the process of connecting the dots. But now we have some dots connected. So I think it is definitely going towards the right direction. and we just need to wait to get the final, nail in the coffin, so that we can actually confirming the entire findings and leading to the punishment. So I think this is definitely going towards the right direction, and let's wait for the final blood report as well.
All right, Mr. Singh, if I could bring you in on this, as we heard our reporters say that today's finding, which as Manas Mishra rightly pointed out, is a huge breakthrough, not just a breakthrough, but a big breakthrough as he's putting it. The fact of the matter is, how crucial will this be now as far as recording the final statement of Aftab Poonawalla in front of the magistrate is concerned?
Absolutely, Akanksha. I'm in total agreement with Mr. Manas Mishra. He is an expert, but this is a critical piece, a very, very important nail. I would not say the last nail, but a very important nail in the coffin of the defense of Aftab, in the sense that this medical legal report is acceptable and admissible in every court of law. It is incontrovertible and nobody can contradict what the medical report says. Now, apart from the fact that other circumstantial evidence would come by, and that would be number one, the GPS details of the movement of Aftab, as also other details from the bloodstains, whatever he may have done to dress up the scene of crime to wash the bloodstain. But yes, the investigators have a knack of finding those bloodstains and those body parts that may have not been in the notice of a novice, which I feel Aftab was, or what he may have done in a hurry to dress up the scene crime. However smart the criminal may be, he leaves telltale signs, and the smart investigator that the Delhi police is, they would be able to get that piece together. Already he has made a confession before the Delhi police, but a confession made before a police officer is not admissible unless it leads to the discovery and recovery of other material. I'm sure the Delhi police would be able to match up all these things, and the various pieces of jigsaw puzzle will put in and give a complete picture before the court that yes, the entire chain, as the court wants, of circumstantial evidence with borders, incontrovertible evidence.
Right. Dr. Singh, I'm going to request you to hold on to your thoughts. Manas Mishra, if I could bring you in on this, as far as the role of forensics is concerned, it is not complete. Even though the DNA sampling of Shraddha Walkar's father has matched with the bones that were retrieved from the forest, what else can we now expect as far as the role of the forensics is concerned? And we knowing that this is going to be very crucial in establishing scientific evidence.
See, as I told you, DNA, again, it's a big breakthrough. Second is the blood report that will be that we will be getting in order to prove the scientific evidence. Then we also cannot deny the fact that we also have gone through the narco test. We've also gone through the other test as well. It all is going to be, it is going to be a cumulative effect of all the findings, and all these findings are going to corroborate. Once they corroborate each other, they start to corroborate each other, we would be leading to some direction, and as we say that this thing is definitely going towards the right direction, as I already said. So I think forensic is definitely playing a crucial role. Scientific evidence is again by far the best evidence that can be extracted in this case. And once we already have a DNA matching report, I think there is no other question remaining now.
All right, Dr. Vikram Singh, what are the missing links now? There's talk about how the murder weapon is still not recovered. The mobile phone is not recovered. There's no evidence yet to back the time of murder, since nobody even heard Shraddha and Aftab Poonawalla engage in any sort of argument before the murder took place. A host of questions still remain unanswered.
Akanksha, make no mistake about it. There are bound to be blood stains and body residue on the clothes of Aftab, and the investigator will scan through every handkerchief, every rag that is in the house of Aftab.
Yes, and then there's also been talk about the missing clothing of Shraddha.
Yes, Shraddha, that also. And of course, if the mobile phone is missing, of course, the call details stored with the service provider cannot be called missing. They can always be retrieved from the service provider, and that will clinch the issue. He moved where and how, and the CCTVs will reveal who was wearing what and at what time. And under those circumstances, the matching up of the CCTVs and also the call details, as also the GPS recording of the movement of the mobile from the service reporter. I would not like to disclose further details because I'm sure Aftab's lawyer would be listening to your program and that would be disclosing the investigating plan. But what we have done till now is a matter of discussion. And I'm sure Aftab has a very difficult case now. And the bravado that his defense team was saying, I think has crumbled like cookies and like a house of cards.
All right, Mr. Singh and Manas, I'm going to request you to stay with me. In the meantime, let's also play out that exclusive conversation that Shraddha Walkar's father had with CNN News 18 just ahead.